So we're on to the next section of this picture, and I've mixed up some alizarin and some sap green. I've probably made the alizarin a little bit strong. Just going to put that there where I can see it. I'm going to work on the background. So possibly also some ultramarine, so I haven't done that one. Just very quickly. A little bit of ultramarine. If it goes in with a little burnt umber, that's fine. So I'm going to start with the pinky colour, and I'm going to start marking in some division lines on that far hillside. This pink is probably a tiny bit strong, but it will be softened by the other colours. We want to leave some of the underlying colour in there. Just need a bit of tissue. And then maybe I'll take the ultramarine with a little bit of burnt umber and put in some bluish sort of markings. Again, just making sure this can be done partly wet and partly dry brush, and it will begin to bring into focus that far hillside. So the colours in the very far distance will be more purpley, more sort of pale purple. Just want to put some pink here, and again putting some shape but leaving some of the pinky colour showing. So this end hill is quite bluish, and again I have exaggerated the shape on these hills. So there's the blue, and then we'll bring in some green, and green can bleed into some of that blue, and it can also go up into the hillside. So here I'm just going to sort of dry brush through. There's some darker bits to go on this after, so I don't want this to go on too dark at this stage. And again, behind the farm building there's quite a lot of dark tone, but again, don't lose oil light. It's much hard, well, it will be almost impossible to bring it back once it's gone. So I've left some of the pale showing through. That will give you the distance, and you could see that even though it's pale, you can see it, but you get the feeling of a good distance. And while we're doing this, we can also come into the tree and begin to put a shade area onto the left-hand side of this tree. So the left-hand side will be more or less solidly green, and then just dabbing my brush off, I do a little bit of the lacy effect. So the lacy effect is an irregular, patchy effect. Make sure you don't get into a rhythm of shape. It's got to be a little bit erratic to give the illusion of leaves. And it's just a first coat, it's just establishing where the light is. So the light's coming from over here, and we want to get that light left on the left-hand side. And up the top here, I can now begin to dabble in some darker bits of green where I already had some. Most of the tree will be darker, but I want to keep it a little bit greener than in the photo. Even in the lit area here, it's a little bit more brown. I just want to keep it a little bit more green. And again, it's a case of just jiggling the brush about to create an irregular pattern. That's a little bit harsh there. Not so much worried about over this side though. It doesn't matter if I do a little bit over here. This will probably go darker later. But if I put green in at this stage, just establishes where some of those green areas are. And at that point, I think we'll leave it for that stage. Thank you.